I'm 34 years old and I was engaged to Sophia, 31, or at least I thought so. This whole mess is like an impossible puzzle to solve. It started approximately 7 weeks ago. We had been in a relationship for 5 years, engaged for 2. Our wedding planning was progressing slowly. Sophia seemed restless, though I attributed it to typical pre-wedding anxiety. We had an appointment scheduled to see a reception venue on Sunday. On Thursday night, she drops a bombshell. "Mateo, I need to take some time. Time away from work, from wedding planning," she said, playing it down, hoping I wouldn't think it referred to our relationship, to us. Just a short period to sort out my thoughts, get some clarity before the important step. Alarm bells everywhere. When someone asks for time, it's usually a way of saying, "I want to be with someone else, but I'll keep you on the back burner just in case." However, I kept my composure. "Okay, if that's what you need. How long do you have in mind?" "Not too long. A few weeks. I just need distance. Zero communication is essential so I can be alone with my thoughts." Zero communication. Got it. My stomach clenched, but I nodded. "All right, Sophia. If you need distance and to cut off communication, I'll respect that." She looked almost relieved that I didn't object. She packed her bags and mentioned she'd stay with Carmen, her sister. She gave me a kiss on the cheek and just like that she vanished. The first 7 days were a nightmare. Total zero communication, just as she asked. I analyzed every detail, questioning where I had gone wrong. The classic self-blame cycle. Then, about 12 days into this timeout, I was scrolling through Instagram. Sophia rarely posts anything, but Carmen posts all the time. And there it was, Carmen's story. Beach bar, drinks, sunsets, and Sophia, radiant. Affectionately embracing Andres, 32, her college ex. The one she assured me was ancient history, a funny phase, completely over. A pit formed in my stomach. The space to sort out her ideas turned out to be a coastal vacation with Andres. The zero contact was exclusively for me to prevent me from interrupting their romantic reconciliation. The absolute audacity, using our time as a free pass. Intense fury washed over me. Then, a colder, more calculating reasoning took hold. "So, you want zero communication while you sort things out with him? Perfect. Of course, our apartment is in my name. It always has been. She moved in 3 years ago. That reception venue? I paid a non-refundable deposit of $2,200 from my account. The catering service? Another $1,600 also from my pocket. That premium Breville professional coffee maker she insisted was indispensable? Around $1,100 on my card. A supposed shared engagement gift, but guess who paid for it all? For me, that coffee maker was already my property regardless of what she thought. I didn't explode. I started mentally cataloging everything and making some quiet arrangements. The apartment. My territory. Her key represented a simple inconvenience to fix. The reception venue. The catering service. I contacted both. Celebration canceled. The deposits were gone. It was painful but preferable to wasting more resources. They sent me email confirmations. The ring. She still had it. My grandmother's ring with enormous emotional value beyond its monetary worth. That was the main thing. I didn't send messages, didn't make calls. I respected her zero communication completely. I simply waited and organized my documentation, my resolve. I let her enjoy her time. Approximately 5 weeks after her disappearance, my phone rings. Unregistered number. I had a feeling who it was. First update. Indeed, it was Sophia using a prepaid phone, I imagine because she probably thought I wouldn't answer her usual number after she ran off in her Instagram appearance with Andres. Very clever. Me. "Hi, Sophia." "Sophia." Super cheerful and relaxed Mateo. "How are you?" "I have good news. My time is up. I've done a lot of thinking and I want to come home and resume our relationship." The boundless audacity. I almost choked. Me calm, controlled, how curious. Because even though your time has concluded, Sophia, our relationship has also ended. Total silence. I could almost hear her brain processing and jamming. "Sophia? Mateo? What are you saying? Don't act like this." The time had conditions. We agreed on a few weeks. A few weeks have passed. Me. The conditions were zero communication for you to sort out your ideas, which you did on a beach with Andres. Even though I only saw Carmen's Instagram story, it was clear you two had an incredible time. More silence. Then a trembling voice. "Sophia." That meant nothing. Andres just showed up by chance. Carmen had invited him. Nothing happened. We just talked. You're making too much of it. The time was for us to get perspective for our own good. The arrogance was starting to show. Did she really think she could just waltz back in as if nothing happened? Me. Sophia. You requested zero communication. You took off on a trip with your ex. You thought I wouldn't find out? You already made your choice. We're over. I canceled both the reception venue and the catering. Her voice. Trembling. Entering crisis mode. You canceled them? Without even consulting me, Mateo? We had paid deposits. That money was ours. Me. No. Sophia. That money was mine. Both deposits came from my personal account and yes, they're canceled. The wedding is off. Sophia. But my things are still in the apartment. My clothes, my professional coffee maker. Of course, the coffee maker. I was expecting that. Me. Correct. Your things are still here. Coordinated time to come get them. Send me a message with the date and time you prefer this week. I'll have them ready by the entrance. The professional coffee maker, however, stays here. I paid for it with my card and it belongs to me. You won't go beyond the entryway to get your other belongings. Sophia, you have no right to kick me out. We share the apartment. And the ring, Mateo. The ring. You don't end an engagement like this. There are procedures. Me. The apartment is exclusively in my name. Sophia, you lived here as my partner. About the ring. Sure. Let's talk about that. It belonged to my grandmother. I trust you'll bring it when you come for your things. Sophia, you're acting like a heartless brute. It's not right. I needed that time. You should show some empathy. You didn't respect what we agreed upon. You were supposed to wait for me. Me. I did wait. And I witnessed your choice while you were taking your time. The only condition you met was zero communication with Mateo. Everything else was obviously a free-for-all for you. Text me when you're coming for your belongings. Goodbye, Sophia. I hung up. My hands were vibrating. Not from nerves, but more from the release of energy. Perhaps the sheer audacity of her expecting me to just go along with it and accept everything. A few hours later, a WhatsApp message. Sender. Carmen. Carmen. Mateo. Sophia is a wreck. You completely misinterpreted the situation. The Andres thing was a mistake. A moment of weakness. She loves you. You have to listen to her. Also, she needs her car keys. They were in the purse she forgot. The car keys. Her Fiat 600, a gift from her parents, was still in the parking lot of my complex, a space I pay extra for. My reply to Carmen. Sophia can get her keys along with her other things. I'm not discussing this with you, Carmen. Have her text me personally. I blocked Carmen. The next day, Sophia finally sends a message. I need my things. Saturday, 3 p.m. And I'm still expecting the coffee maker. I chose it. It belongs to me as much as to you. Still obsessed with the professional coffee maker. No courtesy, no remorse. Just brazen demands. Saturday promised to be entertaining. The apartment locks would be changed Friday morning as a precaution. Second update. Saturday turned out to be quite the spectacle, just as I anticipated. 3 p.m. The doorbell rings. I had spent Friday morning replacing the locks. The best $250 I ever spent. And the afternoon meticulously organizing every item that belonged exclusively to Sophia. Clothes, shoes, an industrial amount of cosmetics. Half-used bath products. Her trinkets. The car keys rested on top of the first box. The professional coffee maker remained on my counter where it always was and definitely not packed away. All her legitimate belongings were organized near the main entrance. I opened the door. She wasn't alone. Of course, Sophia didn't come without reinforcements. Carmen, the Instagram informant, and Elena, her mother, about 52 years old. Elena, who constantly eyed me with suspicion but sweetened up whenever I was covering expenses. Sophia looked like she'd been through a storm. Swollen eyelids, but a defiant expression. Carmen radiated hostility. Elena immediately activated her protective mother role. Elena. Mateo, dear. Sophia mentioned a minor misunderstanding. Surely we can resolve this. She just needed a little break. Me, Elena, there's no misunderstanding here. Sophia enjoyed her break with her ex on a paradise beach after demanding zero communication. The engagement is over. The relationship is over. Her things are ready by the entrance. I indicated the stack of boxes. The car keys are on the top box. Sophia's gaze flickered to the boxes, then to my counter where the professional coffee maker rested. Sophia and my professional coffee maker, you said you had packed my things. Hey, I chose it. It belongs to me as much as to you. Me, I packed your things, Sophia. The professional coffee maker was a gift for both of us, right? Even though I bought it with my card and it will remain here in my apartment. Think of all the cappuccinos you enjoyed. You've already had your share. Sophia, you have no right to do this. It's practically robbery. She really loves that coffee maker. Me, it's not robbery when it belongs to me in my apartment. Take your actual belongings. Elena, Mateo, this attitude is uncalled for after 5 years together. Sophia has suffered enormously from your indifference, and changing the locks was completely excessive. Me replacing the locks on my own apartment after my fiancée abandoned me for her ex seemed entirely reasonable to me. So, are you taking these things or not? I have other commitments. Sophia finally speaks, vibrating with anger. And the ring, Mateo? You mentioned you wanted it. Are you going to sell it to pay for your new locks? Me, not at all, Sophia. I'm going to return it to its original box where it belongs. The ring, please. I held out my hand. She made a whole theatrical production of taking it off a chain. Unbelievably, she was wearing it. The audacity. She practically threw it at me. I caught it. Sophia, you'll regret this, Mateo. Andres truly understands me. He would never act this way. Me, good for Andres. Maybe he'll buy you a new professional coffee maker. Now, please take your things. I'll be in the back for an hour. They started loading boxes amidst muttered insults. Sophia continued to look for confrontation. Sophia, my expensive facial serum. You didn't even pack it carefully. These products are worth a fortune. Me, from the other room, you should have taken it to the coast with Andres. How tedious. I always thought it was too boring for you, Sophia. Elena, interestingly, remained mostly silent, mainly sighing and glaring. Then, the dirty trick. Sophia suddenly mentions some invaluable family jewels her grandmother bequeathed her, which she thinks she might have forgotten in my underwear drawer. She insists on going in to check. Me, absolutely not. Any truly valuable item you would have taken on your time off. I packed everything I identified as yours. If it's not in those boxes, it's not here. Sophia, I'll call the authorities. You're robbing me. She fumbled for her phone. Me, do it. Tell them you forgot supposed valuable belongings in your ex's home after ditching the engagement for another guy, and now he won't let you search his bedroom. Let's see how that goes. She glared at me but didn't dial. Elena finally spoke. Girls, let's finish this. He's obviously not going to change his mind. A hint of exhaustion in her voice, finally. They took out the final box. They used up the entire hour, huffing and puffing. As they were leaving, Sophia shot me one last dart. You'll end up very alone, Mateo. You destroyed everything over a stupid Instagram post. Me, no, Sophia. I destroyed it because you cheated on me and then expected applause. Goodbye. I closed the door. Double-locked it. A feeling of emptiness followed by immense relief. Over. Or so I thought. The day before yesterday, a legal notice. Sophia claiming compensation, emotional distress, shared property. What shared property? The $1,100 for the professional coffee maker and the $3,800 for the non-refundable wedding deposits, which she alleges were mutual marital funds. Her claim on the deposits is particularly galling, considering she caused the wedding's cancellation with her behavior and I made all the payments. The audacity knows no bounds. She destroys the relationship, disappears, and then expects me to compensate her. This continues. It's a battle, and I'm prepared. I forwarded the notice to my legal representative. He laughed his head off. Final update. Several months have passed. Everything has calmed down, including Sophia's absurd legal threats. Time for the concluding episode of the story. Sophia's lawyer tried to apply pressure, sending several increasingly hostile communications. My lawyer, bless his skeptical and methodical spirit, demolished all claims. Emotional distress? He pointed out that Sophia requested the time off. Sophia traveled with her ex. Sophia violated the zero contact with demands. If anyone experienced emotional distress, it was me. Shared property, deposits, / professional coffee maker? My lawyer presented copies of my bank statements showing the deposits came from my personal account, pre-relationship, and the credit card statement for the professional coffee maker, also solely mine. He politely observed. Shared property typically requires genuinely joint finances, which were never established. I'm thankful for my foresight. He also highlighted that the financial loss from the deposits was a direct result of her conduct that led to the wedding's cancellation. The time-off conditions? Her lawyer argued I violated the concept of time off. My lawyer's response was brilliant. The concept of time off apparently meant that his client could take off on vacation with another man while expecting my client to remain in ignorance. My client merely acknowledged the situation his client presented to him. Impeccable. After a particularly incisive letter from my lawyer suggesting Sophia could be liable for my legal costs for a frivolous lawsuit, her lawyer disappeared. I learned through a mutual friend who clearly saw through Sophia's lies that her lawyer told her she had no case and risked covering my expenses. The fallout for Sophia was considerably severe. Andres, predictably, once the vacation magic wore off and the truth and the broke, demanding version of Sophia emerged, took off. He wasn't interested in maintaining her lifestyle or her legal crusade. He lasted about 3 weeks after she tried to move in with him. Accommodation? She took refuge at Carmen's. That blew up when Sophia expected Carmen to function as her personal bank and psychologist. Carmen eventually kicked her out. The latest I heard is that Sophia swallowed her pride and moved back in with her parents. Word is, Elena is tremendously disappointed in Sophia for creating such a mess. Quite the paradox. Finances? She had to find a full-time formal job. What a tragedy. She no longer has me or the $3,800 she tried to get from me for the deposits. She's finally discovering what it means to work for her money. The professional coffee maker. The best part, though, and the most gratifying. The mutual friend says Sophia still cries over the professional coffee maker. She wanted Elena to finance a new one for her. Apparently, Elena told her to save up and buy it herself. As for me, the first few weeks were tough. I felt like a fool, though the anger transformed into resolution. Those legal notices were exhausting, but seeing them shut down was liberating. The apartment feels like mine again. I've cleared out her chaos, repainted it. It's much cleaner. My grandmother's ring is safe. The revenge wasn't theatrical. It was a silent, organized resistance to her manipulation. Refusing to subsidize her terrible choices. Refusing to let her make me the bad guy. She wanted time and zero communication? Perfect. Forever. She flaunted herself with her ex? Great. She faced those repercussions without me. Feeling entitled to my money, apartment, ring, even my coffee maker after betraying me? Never. Watching her arrogance crash against the wall of repercussions was the real prize. She genuinely thought she could have it all, pass me the bill, and make me meekly await her hysterical protest that I didn't comply with her conditions for a time off that she used to cheat on me. It still amazes me. I've had no communication with her or her family since the lawyers settled it. Pure peace. Dating casually. Focusing on myself. It's going well. Sophia made a foolish bet, got a foolish outcome. And honestly, this quiet apartment and the absence where her demands used to be? The sweetest reward.